What's happening, everyone? Before this next leg of podcast show starts, this is a reminder to you not to be a minge bag. Go over to Patreon, sign up for £1 a week and take advantage of all the Patreon perks. It is the Patreon that pays. We have a betting show on a Saturday, which the postman here is picking winners every single week.
Yeah, the betting show comes out Saturday mornings, covers UFC and boxing, footy when we're in the footy season. But yeah, we're winning on a weekly basis. I can't remember the last week we didn't find some sort of winner. So yeah, as Andy says, don't be a minge bag, come and get involved. And as I say, it's one of the best communities that you could be a part of, isn't it?
It's a belter. As well as the betting show on a Wednesday, me and Jord have a chat. That's where you might have seen on our Insta Reels about crocs, about harpooning people at the end of the night, all that kind of chat that goes on. And even better, every single Wednesday we do a raffle draw, and our sponsors Montrex give £100 gift voucher away just for being on Patreon. No better time to join. There's 30 plus episodes already that you can go back and watch. Again, no better time. Get involved. Don't be a minge bag. £1 a week, and we'll see you there. What's happening, everyone? It's the Sportscast. It's me, Andy Grant.
It's me, Jordan Neal.
Happy Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas. I'm just off air tried to say this word. I got it wrong then. I'll probably get it wrong now. This is your penultimate show. Sports show of the year.
I got pronunciation is hilarious.
I can't fucking read that. I got my best GCSE man as well. That
really? Oh, school you got?
It's like the Floyd Mayweather 50 cent thing. Floyd, I give you $50,000 if you can read one page of a Harry Potter book.
Reading GCSE.
Yeah, no, on our Patreon we get some mad surnames I can't pronounce.
We don't like the proper standard surnames like Miney, and you like
and his name's spelled M-I-N. E-Y.
Mine. You call him Monet. Paul Monet.
Anyway, hope you all have a boss Christmas. You're listening to this on a Friday morning, so it's Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Hope you've all got a boss that will
I reckon there'll be loads of people listening to this now with AirPods, earphones in, like, shit, I haven't got no prezzies.
Probably.
Listen to the lads, get an hour in.
Do you want me to give you what I've got? I reckon so many people. In fact, you helped me with it.
I did?
Yeah, just Picardo gift vouchers.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Just think standard.
Lad, I'm
just a little 20 or 50. My barber got one. My little girl's mum got one. My sister's fella got one. I hope he's not listening, to be fair, 'cause I've just given it away. But
I thought I was done, but then just the world comes crashing in.
Are we going to get each other one?
What's your Picardo voucher? 50 quid each. Yeah, we get each other a present.
Do we? Yeah, just so I need to next time I see you.
Yeah, I'll get you a present.
20 quid budget.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh shit, the bed.
Are we going to get Muskie one?
Yeah, Muskie needs one, doesn't he? Fucking carry us for a year. I'm in a Secret Santa, and you just reminded me I would have turned up on the 29th of December with absolutely
sorting your life out.
But what else? I watched Love Actually for the first time over Christmas last night. What a film.
Boss, isn't it?
Unbelievable. You know the scene at the start where they're like, it's all people like hugging in airports and then there's a little speech about like love and like just life's good, innit?
I've not seen it for a while, but it's about it.
Boss film.
Now I'm excited now. But hope you're all well.
The world of sport rolls on.
Doesn't stop really, does it?
No,
to be honest.
God, the World Cup's over though. I'm surprised all the players coming back straight away though. Rashford scored a little bit of a worldie last night, didn't he?
Belter, by the way. How Southgate didn't start him, and he put. Don't get me wrong, I'm a Saka convert now. If we can
Saka's good.
Yeah, he is, but I weren't on the bandwagon for a while, and the World Cup kind of made me, buy. I didn't buy a return, but I bought a single. Do you know what I mean?
You're on the England train.
I was, yeah. You know what? I was. Yeah.
How was it?
It was probably like any England fan would tell me for years. It's fucking shit.
Yeah.
Not unlike Sporting Liverpool, but I'll be honest. Yeah, I did kind of put down me Scouse not English half for a minute, and I did support England again, like I said last week, on the basis of the lads who play on the pitch.
At least you've got to F Dettori stuff on.
This is from Jäger as a Red on Instagram.
You can run back around. That's a great hoodie, that.
It's a great hoodie, isn't it?
It's a lovely lad. Do you know what? It's a hoodie that. I don't mind the F Dettori's tops, they're cool, but they're just like white writing, aren't they? That's like a subtle hoodie, but it's got the message.
If you want one of these, Jäger as a Red, you don't get any discount, but just say my name and they'll be happy.
They are a belter.
So yeah, rocking this today in town, man. I'm having a few beers, but I did drop the Scouse not English bit and did support England, but suffice to say they let you down again. But anyway,
to that later.
On the World Cup, should we start there?
Got it, haven't we? Should we start on Messi or Southgate?
Hey, I think he's posted more World Cup pictures than anyone who actually won the World Cup.
He is a lemon.
He's a bad bellend, isn't he?
Have you seen Messi? He's like, lad, get off.
Yeah. But honestly,
obviously he's Argentinian, he doesn't use Scouse slang. But
let me just double check why you just say what an absolute CUNT is.
I don't get it, lad. I know that nugget who heads up FIFA or whatever he is. The reason there's a video come out of him now with eating in Salt Bay's restaurant, isn't he? And he's cutting a steak in all this dramatic fashion and like putting beef in his mouth and all that, which is in itself weird. I don't mind what them little things where people cut your steak and that's cool, but don't let them dangle it in your mouth. It's weird.
So he's put 7 pictures up of the World Cup, right? Messi, the guy who actually won it, has put, to be fair, he's put 7 up.
Yeah, but I mean, they shouldn't be neck and neck.
I mean, in fact, he's not even put 7 up, he's put 6 up, because one's a sponsored ad with Budweiser.
That Campion del Mundo one's the most liked photo of all time, isn't it?
Yeah, but you know what is the most liked photo?
What?
An egg.
Is it? What, just an egg? Like Twitter?
Yeah, something like that, yeah. So it's essentially the most famous, or liked photo, if you like.
Yeah, I'm glad he done it. But I mean,
I think what's also surprising is your kind of opinion or your reputation of sports journalism. Let's call it, if you want to call the podcast a journalism podcast.
Still not taking better to someone.
He's gone out to fucking Swanee.
No, it hasn't.
Mbappe, shit, lad.
I didn't say that.
Not
I said
him, lad.
he wouldn't work in a Jurgen Klopp team, and I'd stand by that.
Not having him. Scores a hat-trick in a World Cup final. Not been done since 1966.
Don't count.
Hang on. He scored an hat-trick in 120, so he scored 4 goals, really, if you want to count the pen.
Yeah. He
scored 3.
A good performance, I'm not taking away from that. And
a good performance.
I was having some chat, he still lost.
You watch Sunday League on a Sunday, and you say, good performance, lad. He's just scored a hat-trick in a World Cup final, and you're still not giving him his props.
What did he get for it? Little silver medal. Unlucky Killian.
He got a top goal scorer.
Oh, that was great. He lost the World Cup.
No, he did.
Always the bridesmaid. Hang
on, he won the World Cup 4 years ago, you tit.
Yeah, but that way in. He was a big part then.
Stop it, you're being a tit now.
No,
admit it, you're being a tit.
I am. But what I'm saying is, I stand on what I said.
Okay, well I don't, and I think he proved last week that he could adapt and overcome to whatever team he was
Just because he's done that, it doesn't mean he's going to buy into a team ethos. And Liverpool are different, lad. They are.
Okay.
But that said, like I said last week, and some people actually give me credit for this, he is a good player. He's a world-class player. I'm not getting across that. I just think in certain teams he wouldn't work.
Okay.
But in certain teams that, like I said in that clip, that build it around him, like Real Madrid, for example, if he went there and they were like, right, you're the new number 9, he would run riot. I've got no doubt about that. Just don't think he's at the elite level where he could adapt to anything.
I disagree, but anyway.
But there was one elite player on the pitch.
Yeah. Did you know as well, Messi, right? Some mad stats come off the World Cup. He walked more than anyone else in that World Cup. And a lot of the time he didn't touch the ball till like the 23rd minute.
Do you know what? He dispels the myth that coaches always tell you about never stand still.
Yeah.
Because he stands still and that ball.
Like, he's a player who couldn't work in Klopp's team.
No. I mean, but this is again my point. You put him in anyway. Because
so you've just completely gone on what you've said.
Yeah, because that's my argument. There's elite talents that you do anything for.
Mad.
Messi is. Mbappe is not in the same conversation as Messi. Please do not have that on with me. Because he's not.
By the time Messi's in 2 or 3 more years, he will be, lad.
No, he won't. No, he will not, lad. Messi...
He'll be in the same conversation. I don't think anyone will ever eclipse Messi.
He will never go down as one of the greatest players of all time.
I think he might, lad.
No, he won't.
As soon as he leaves PSG and he's winning numerous Champions Leagues...
And it's so early, people would have said this about... And, to be fair, he did, but he never achieved what he should have. Like R9 and stuff. So much can happen, lad.
Yeah, he got injured, though,
but that's what I mean. So much can happen. You can't say... It's disrespectful to Messi and Ronaldo, who are put in the conversation as well, to say these kids who are 23 and 22 can one day be talked about. If they do, then great. Yeah. But mate, they've done it for like decades.
Listen, I agree there's some mad stat where Haaland needs to score something like 40 a season for the next 15 years to get near Ronaldo. Like, yeah.
The freaks.
I agree Messi and Ronaldo are freaks. However, if there is any 2 players who've got the potential to even get close to them, it's Mbappe and Haaland.
If they get close, fair play. But in my opinion, neither of them they'll go down as world-class, great talents. But there's a difference between being world class and being one of the best players to ever put on a pair of boots.
And I don't think no one will ever go past Messi. But he's already won a World Cup. It took Messi till he was 36, 35 to do so. Mbappe done it at 20.
Yeah, but you can't direct because they're playing in different teams. Like
no, I know, but I'm just saying he's fucking.
Yeah.
He's won numerous leagues. I think they've got a good chance of winning the Champions League this year.
Yeah, I do. But when it's all said and done. when you put them two next to each other, one will still be clearly the best player of all time.
Well, time will tell.
It will.
But anyway, buzzing for Messi. Absolutely.
His pens were a joke.
Buzzing for him. Do you think they're a joke?
His penalties.
I think like that's egg on your face time if that goes wrong.
It shows you how good he is because you see
people,
he waits for the goalie to move. Other people try it and that's how they get caught out.
Yeah, but he's missed a few though.
They don't hold the nerve as long as him.
Lad, he missed.
That's sound, but when that's the biggest stage of all, and he rolled in it.
I know, but I don't like it, lad.
I would never do it because I'm not good. But
would you pick an Mbappe pen or a Messi pen?
Mate, come on.
No, if you're taking it.
Me? I would whack it, obviously. Yeah. But I'm not Messi. I've got the balls that he's got.
I think he looks silly if that you know what I mean.
He's too good, too talented. He's got everything, lad. And like, there was even a point where, like, he's 35 and in extra time when it caught up on it, he's like, does a little trick on the edge of the box, gets a shot away. He's still as sharp as like the best 25-year-olds in the world. Yeah. It's madness.
No, I was so happy for him. Me and you were actually watching it on our phones whilst watching Aladdin in the Echo Arena.
We were at opposite ends of the row, weren't we?
Yeah. Big thanks to the Owen McVeigh Foundation. We're going to do a skydive for them in April, raising money for them. But they do amazing things for the sick children of our city. We had a nice day out with them all on Sunday. So we were watching the World Cup final on our phones because we were in Aladdin.
I just seen big chance on live score.
And give me the look and I went.
It was messy.
Just waiting for it to come up.
But what it's great that he's finally rounded it off and he's not retiring apparently. Not even going as world champ.
But there's a bit of me that thinks, I think that's a great debate to have, and it's probably too long of a debate to have on this particular podcast, but, you know, in sport, when is the right time to buy a ball?
So it's always better to go early than late, without doubt. But with him and his style of play, like, I don't really see, like, essentially, in a year or two, Messi could play centre mid. Like, with his lad, he could, with his vision and the way he uses the ball and stuff.
You still need Rooney to run.
No, but if he's got people around him, he could play centre mid, like Rooney did on a lesser scale when he started to slow down. With it, he is so far ahead of people technically that they'll never get close.
No, I think you just keep him in that 10 role, you know, just behind the main striker, just in front of the midfield, and just let him float.
I'm net honest. When he retires, mate, I think footy.
I think someone who retired at, I think, the perfect age. I'm not just saying this because he's my fucking hero, but Carragher. You know, you could argue he could have played on. But
he was going to get exposed, then Messi's not. Like.
Do you think?
Yeah, because when you, without the rose tinted, when you look
the last 6 months he played for Liverpool, he got dropped for a bit, then come back in the team. The last 6 months was arguably the best defender in the team.
When he got dropped, he was starting to get run around with a little bit. I know that's a drop of form, but I think he knew that, you know, a year or two, I'm going to be not as quick as I am. I know he was never that quick, but he was quick enough.
But I mean, he never kind of dropped down the leagues. He never got, you know, he just went, boom, I'm at Liverpool, I'm retiring.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's different boxers. For example, I think it's important that boxers retire when they're at the top. But I mean, what is the right or wrong answer? You know, someone could, you know, some of the greats have went out to the MLS and done the thing and kind of petered out.
Well, apparently he's staying at PSG, isn't he? Barcelona into Miami, or whatever they called, approached them, but it never went any further. He's staying at PSG. For me, I think they'll probably win the Champions League.
I think they got the two best strikers in Messi and Mbappe.
I think they'll win the Champions League, and then, you know what? I think the only discussion for Messi is there's nothing else to do.
He's literally won everything.
There's no itch to scratch. Do you know what I mean? There's no like, I need to just hold on. I need to win this, or I need to get every individual on it. He's about to get that, whatever they call it, the Super Ballon d'Or. Like, it's only been given to one player in history or something like that. Have you seen it?
Yeah, no.
I'll show you.
I've never heard of this. But you know what? I think I've got Messi's career mapped out. You know.
Oh, I'm sure he'd be absolutely delighted you've done that for him.
This is an Andy Grant exclusive. I think he'll do this season and next season at PSG. Yeah. Then it will give him. He might even do another year, but I guarantee you he will do 1 year prior to the next World Cup in America.
Yeah.
He'll build up his brand at that FC Miami, whatever. He's put Beckham on standby. Build a decent enough team. I'll come there 1 year before the World Cup. He'll have a year in America. Then he'll do the World Cup.
Yeah.
He'll bow out at 40.
That's a great shout. But
you're welcome, Leo.
The Super Ballon d'Or is to be awarded to the best performing footballer of the last 30 years, should a player even be deemed good enough to have earned one. Alfredo Di Stefano is the only player to ever been given it.
Another Argy.
Messi's about to get it.
Can you argue?
No. But then, like, so he's even got a fucking, whatever do you call that, mysterious stone trophy.
Ronaldo must be fucking gutted. Hey,
it's the
like the press he's had the last 6 months has just been horrendous, hasn't it?
There's been a clear separation, hasn't there, between the two in the last 6 months.
Massively.
Shouldn't overshadow what he's done, though.
No, because he's still a beast, but...
Yeah. I mean, United give him an 81-word tribute, did you see that? In their fucking programme last night when they in the game.
Sad that, isn't
it? I mean, that's just... I mean, as much as we've criticised him, and he's not my cup of tea, but for what he's achieved,
yeah,
you know,
sad, yeah.
It's a bit, but where he goes now, I think this Messi thing will dictate. I think Ronaldo was close to doing like the Saudis or whatever. I think he'll want to try and go somewhere else to keep going.
Now that he knows Messi's longer at PSG,
trying to go, because it would be hard for him to go to some, you know, crap league and then be like watching Messi still winning the champs.
Yeah. Oh no, big time.
Ego plays a part, 100%.
Yeah. But I am glad it's over now.
Yeah.
Back to what we know and love, the Premier League.
Even though I forgot Liverpool playing tonight. Yeah.
So when you listen to this, we hopefully will be in the quarter-final of the League Cup after beating Man City.
Reckon Trent's not to play? Henderson? Trent's going to play, like, he didn't do anything, did he?
Saying that Rashford played for United, didn't he? Yeah. So
I imagine Henderson would be in the squad, wouldn't he?
Well, if Rashford was, yeah.
He hasn't played any... I mean, Henderson's had a good few games, he's a little bit older than that, but no, I'd imagine he'd play, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
We need to go through, we haven't got many trophies left.
Yeah, to play for, yeah. Yeah, bit interesting one.
But just while we sign off, Salt Bay is a weapon.
Salt Bay is a weapon, yeah.
Can we just leave that there?
He's some the US golf that tweeted out saying Salt Bay's banned from the US, like Open or whatever it is.
I mean, I understood it when it first came out, but they still like this, like, go away.
I am bad for going to the opening of a letter.
Yeah, you are.
I get bad FOMO. I'll go anywhere. If there's beer involved and people and a camera and you know people I can have a laugh with and take the piss with, I'm there. That takes the piss out though.
It's actually cheeky.
Yeah, I know.
He's grabbing Messi. Come here, lad. Like Messi's gonna go, Salt Bay!
You know,
yes.
You know if he was like a big, famous Argentine chef?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
He's fucking Turkish.
Like if England rolled out like Jamie Oliver.
Yeah. Or like my mate Ramsey, you know what I mean?
Ramsey's got to be close to American citizenship now, lad.
Yeah. He's always there, isn't he? Yeah.
The boy, that's when he made it, didn't he?
Yeah.
But yeah, but like just...
Anyone who's wants to know where their little kind of Ramsey show comes from, get on Patreon. There's a belt. Isn't it a good story?
It is good. It's about your most impressive.
I think it might be.
Outside of being able to survive.
Ramsey basically drops me $2,000, basically.
Yeah.
Sorts me and the boys.
Gordon Ramsay paid Andy $2,000.
Basically, yeah. Let's just roll with that.
The sun will be all over that tomorrow. Yeah. Did you see we got adapted to a TikTok video?
Oh my god, that was weird as fuck.
So someone done our voices over a TikTok video.
Weird.
My kids think I'm cool.
Did they?
No, but it did.
I don't even...
He had like 1.5 million followers in.
Did he, yeah?
Yeah, and it was like something about him. It was a patient chat that we'd had, and the caption was like, when the after party gets weird, or something like that, and it was me and you.
Yeah. I just think that's weird, that though.
How do people keep finding us on? Like, we're going big on TikTok, you know.
I know, we don't
have access to it, but yeah, I mean, I get heckled on there, like.
You know what killed me though the other day? I was in the garage filling up, I went into pay, and someone went, "Are you that fella off TikTok?"
Did she?
I was like, if I want to be remembered for anything, it's nothing to do with TikTok.
I got blown up as well, you know.
Don't associate me with it.
Did you see that? I know we're going off a sports tangent here. Sorry for anyone who's listening for hardcore sports. You're probably in the wrong place anyway. But it was like, did you see someone criticised the fella with the beard on one of our videos? We were both sat with beard. We hit one. That fella with a beard and knobhead or something, you know.
The other thing I thought was that interesting, right, again, slightly off sports, but again, we probably should do this on a serious note, just to stop future legal issues. Obviously, we don't take ourselves too serious, and we like to take the piss a lot. Mostly out of each other and ourselves, but now and again, others. I seen on a podcast, and he was referencing Sue Jordy when he got banned because he made a joke about Islam. And then Andrew Schultz is an American podcaster,
hilarious.
And he turned around and he went, all you need to do, right, is just do one stand-up comedy gig. Because comedians can kind of get away with it, can't they?
Yeah.
You know, you see like a racist or a sexist joke, look like Ricky Gervais.
Yeah.
He just says what the fuck he wants, and it's like he's a comedian, he's loud.
Yeah.
If you try and be a serious podcaster, then... so...
But don't put it in that sense.
If we just label ourselves, I mean, people who watch don't take us serious anyway, but I mean, just two lads, comedy, sport, then we can start saying what the fuck we want.
I'd just like to make a really well-timed statement here that might or might not go out in the future. This is a comedy podcast.
Yeah, like this is a comedy podcast.
We associate ourselves with comedy.
So if you're watching the Legged podcast for hard-hitting journalism and facts, you're a fucking idiot.
We didn't get it for that, and next year when we do the things we're going to do and make our mark, people will see there will be serious times, but we're having a laugh with it.
Yeah.
You somehow, and Tom, we got a studio, a couple of cameras, and a decent phone, and here we are.
We are. It's like that gift. Look at us now.
Look at us. Well, there's it is what it is. We can't change now. No. You can't polish a turd, lad.
No. You put sprinkles on it.
Well, that's what the free gear is. But you can't polish a turd.
Where are we going for the World Cup then?
BBC Sports Personality of the Year. Well done, Beth Mead.
Fast that was.
Well done, Beth Mead.
Fair play to her.
Yeah, well done. But
they're doing great for England women's football.
And Leon Edwards is just like that shot by the letterbox.
How he didn't even get a mention. I mean, I didn't watch the actual event, but in the lead up to it, there was no mention of Leon Edwards.
Apparently, I read this on Nick Peter, who we speak about quite a fair bit, put out a tweet and then someone replied to him saying it has to have been shown or covered by the BBC. Or that's their their unofficial judging process.
That's bullshit. That doesn't
They wrote. I actually then went the amount of articles they wrote on Leon Edwards after he won a thing. So he's clearly associated with the BBC.
Yeah, he's allowed to have won it. He just happened because he's just been overlooked for whatever reason, which is bullshit.
The people who make them decisions, I know they write about it on the website, I've just said, but the people making them decisions, I'm pretty sure they would outlaw combat sports if they had the chance. They still see it as like barbaric crap, what do you know what I mean?
But he's only the second British UFC champ, and the fact that he's not even been mentioned in it is a farce.
He didn't just win it. He won it with the most dramatic finish, one of the most dramatic finishes that the UFC's ever seen. I mean, Conor McGregor got involved and was like, that's a joke.
And he didn't even, it's not as if he beat some bump, he beat the guy who's been like...
Pound for pound, Kamaru wasn't. Obviously the comment at the end was, headshot, pound for pound, dead, sort of thing. And,
BBC, if anyone from the BBC watching this, which I highly doubt, but fuck you got it wrong there.
I mean, to not even acknowledge combat sports at all is a bit annoying. I think there was someone in there who played I'm not having a go with these sports, but you wouldn't know them from me and you know what I mean? The one was like, it wasn't handball. I don't know his name, I actually didn't know. The only one I knew was Beth Mead, genuinely.
Ronnie on there, was he?
Sorry, Ronnie, yeah. But he was getting the whole thing, even Beth Mead was getting, it was like Ronnie O'Sullivan's on there, but the rest. I'm sure one played it might not have been handball, but it was something really, really minimalist.
Do you think you should be allowed to get Sports Personality of the Year if you're part of the team? Yeah. If it's just on personality, Ronnie O'Sullivan should have won it because he's fucking funny.
But I was looking at that list going, that's dry, that list. If you were you're going to a party and here's your table, you'd be like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite.
But do you think you should be allowed to if you're in a team?
No, because they're not sports team player of the year.
Unless you're I don't know, Messi maybe who's done it. But even still, he's surrounded by great players.
That brings up a point. Was it ever about personality?
No, definitely not. It's just sports achievement of the year awards, I guess, isn't
it? That's a proper random word to drop in, isn't it?
For example, why is Beth Mead won it? What did she do apart from be part of a winning team?
Yeah. She was top scorer, wasn't she?
Oh, she, yeah.
Something like that. But yeah, no disrespect to her, I'm just saying the integrity of the award, it didn't have people who'd achieved a lot in.
And if it's going to be personality, I want to hear jokes.
Yeah.
I want to hear stories.
Get up on the stage like Slosh or something.
Yeah.
Give us a speech.
Do the thing that we used to do in the Marines when you're doing your initiation ceremony. Get up in drag clothing, say your name, where you're from, and a funny story about yourself.
Yeah, have a
then you can have a Sports Personality of the Year.
Have a go, Well,
at the same time, people used to throw eggs at them as well and stuff. That'd be funny.
Yeah, but I mean, to get that on a high scale in a black tie event would be pretty hard.
Imagine if you turn up with your black tie dinner on your table, it's just 6 eggs.
Mini night.
It'd be fucking brilliant.
Yeah, it would, but it's I don't know, but it was just a stupid.
I've been to one of them events, you know.
Yeah. It was in the Echo one year, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's when I went backstage with Lewis Hamilton and Prince Harry.
Did you?
Yeah.
Prince Harry, my guy.
Lewis Hamilton's tiny.
Never used to, does he?
Fucking got a little selfie of him, didn't
I? Was never a Prince Harry fan, but coming around.
Told you he's a good lad.
I watched Harry and Meghan on Netflix.
I've not seen it yet. No.
He's a good fella, you know. I mean,
I told you he was.
Being painted it. I mean, yeah, you did tell me.
He
does actually. That is mad. But yeah,
I don't know if he's actually on Patreon, but he definitely knows what I'm up
That's
to.
another inside
Or
joke.
he used to be anyway.
It's a little inside joke, isn't it? That Prince Harry being on Peyton.
Yeah, no, but...
If he texts you today saying, lad, I like strawberry Fanta.
Then we know.
No, he's not.
We know.
But nah, genuinely, like it was a good watch. But yeah, it's just a crap.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel for Ronnie as well. Like if he never, I don't know who was second in
he
Perth.
fully can't have been bothered.
Oh no, he's not asked, is he? But
I'm surprised he even went, man.
still,
Kevin Sinfield and Rob Burrow got an award.
did the
Kevin Sinfield gave his usual self-depreciating but important message speech.
Yeah.
He said he was up there talking about Doddy Weir, who's another MND sufferer who passed away, saying, Doddy used to say to me, this is not uncurable, it's just underfunded. And he'd done that right on the stage where everyone who's going to fund it has the money to fund it, will hear and listen. And mate,
No,
do you know what I said to someone the other day? Was it Emily or you? Can't remember, when we were at home at Faith
I love how
Foundation.
you put me and your wife in the
No,
same
but
sentence.
you two were there, and I said, it's good to be in a room with people who are just better than you. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, the
You
people
must feel like that all the time, don't you?
nah, I'm the best in here. But in that Owen McVeigh Foundation day, you're looking at people who do selfless things that are just
On the day.
beyond this world, do you know what I mean?
Every day, yeah.
And then you look at people like Kevin Sinfield and you just think, mate, you are the man.
He's just got a new job as well, hasn't
Has he?
he? England coach.
Has he?
Yeah.
In Union or
Union.
League? Yeah, I know he switched coach to the Union, didn't he, to do his coaching. But mate, just to be, I know you have been around him, but mate, just to spend an hour with him, you'd be a better person.
I think I've said it on the show many times, I've never been into like paying for these dinners to meet people. I was lucky enough, a good friend of mine is friends with him, and we all went for dinner. And I had a few beers with him, bit of pizza on Castle Street in Tars, probably 3 or 4 hours. I would have paid fucking good money for those 3 or 4 hours.
He's not bothered about any sort of credit either. Like, I think you've mentioned that he's done all this fundraising. He's not even on Instagram.
No.
There's no look at me doing this. It's just genuinely doing it because he needs to and wants to.
Yeah,
What a guy. But that was the one good thing that come out of them crazy awards.
Yeah.
Well, mate, that's really...
What else are we going from BBC? It's a bit of a random, funny. It's like Christmas. It's like silly because...
Nothing's happening right now to talk about. We're just looking forward, but we can't look forward too far because, I mean, we haven't got Boxing Day, have we? I mean, next week we'll be able to talk about the return of the Prem.
Yeah, Boxing Day will be a good day. Can we just stop then the sport for a minute and look back at our predictions then?
Yeah. There was a bit... Do you know what?
This is interesting.
Yeah, so last year...
So in January it must have been...
it wasn't. Oh yeah, it was January the 2nd. Or
you normally make predictions in January, Jordan.
Yeah.
So in January, me and Jordan made some predictions in the sporting world.
Do you want to hear yours?
Go on.
Our bold predictions for the year, which we're going to make a few more of. You said England will win the World Cup.
I don't think that was a million miles off.
Just a couple of rounds off.
A Harry Kane penalty.
No, they wouldn't have won it.
Well, who knows, but go on.
Liverpool will win the Champions League.
They got to the final.
Unlucky. And then you bottled it and only done 2.
Okay. What were yours?
Tyson Fury will get beat. Would Avivid have actually fought Usyk? More of that later. Klopp will leave.
He signed an extension.
The reason that Klopp will leave though is because...
You couldn't have been more wrong with that.
I was trying to have you go at you. And Conor McGregor would hold the BMF belt, but he didn't even fight.
He didn't fight. He's just too busy fucking juicing up.
Yeah, that could even go this year because they will find a way for him to fight with that one day, but he does have a metal leg, so he's kind of... But I went 0 for 3, you went 0 for 2.
I was closer though.
Yeah.
I was closer.
Yeah, Mbappe was close to winning the World Cup, didn't win it though.
Okay.
You're a silver medalist.
Are we on predictions this year then? I've got 2 written down already.
Have you? Before we go on to predictions, we missed a little thing. No, we'll do that after. Let's do predictions. We'll finish on, or get close to finishing on that. But I reckon we should do a couple of questions. First, before we do both predictions, what was your moment of 2022 in all sport?
Like for me personally, or like...
Yeah, just the one moment you looked at and just went, boss.
It's got to be Messi. I don't know whether that's just happened last week. Maybe a recency bias, but I mean, Messi... You know what? It's either Messi winning the World Cup, because that was just for me. I'm a massive Barcelona fan, massive Messi fan.
Yeah.
You know, that was special. That. If I'm going to look at a kind of a collective time, you know what's sad about this season as a Liverpool fan and as a football fan, if you like, because it ended so dire with the Champions League and then losing out in the league, it's put a massively sour note on it. But I think as Liverpool fans, or maybe football fans who can just appreciate supporting a team, you don't realise how good those few months were, you know,
No, you
as a
don't.
Liverpool fan.
I think someone put that up the other day. It was like, was it the first half against City in like FA Cup or some final?
You know, so I've been to Wembley 3 times for the semi-final of the League Cup, or the FA Cup was it? The League Cup final, FA Cup final. We've won 2 trophies. It's half time at Anfield. City are getting beat 1 or 2-0. You've gone to Paris a week later with all your mates. Like, you're on the brink of fucking greatness there. Again, it didn't end like that, but arguably the greatest high for me was just that running, you know, from the February, March, April, May time. I mean, it was good being a Liverpool fan around then. That was a great time, if you like. But moments, it's got to be Messi, I think.
Yeah, I see. I didn't want to go for Messi just because of...
So recent, isn't it?
Yeah. I think, for me, moment was Leon, just because it was 5:30 in the morning and I was watching it. And he head kicked him and I was like, oh my... There's like a euphoric moment.
Yeah.
But I think the best thing for 2022, it is UFC London, the first one.
Yeah.
Like, to see an event like that, like back-to-back knockouts, spinning elbow from Molly,
Aspinall finishing,
the money you won, just being at the O2.
As me and you walked out of there, we've done the Gold Cup on a Friday.
We were pressing refresh.
Done the Gold Cup on a Friday, UFC Saturday, and walked out of that gig with 12 grand, lad. That was a moment, lad.
Yeah, it was a moment, that. Just walking out of there.
It was actually 12,800.
Yeah, and then on that as well, there was a massive queue for burger and chips, and you walked down the side and got us both for burger and chips, which you had one leg. So yeah, it was that.
All the sport of 2022 was the burger poaching.
That was 40 deep, that queue, and you walked around the side. But yeah, I think as a singular moment, it has to be Edwards, but I think the one that I'll remember is UFC London. It was just unreal, wasn't it? What an event. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's obviously Paddy was coming up like then. Against Vargas, Molly's never going to knock someone out better than that.
It was a great fight, yeah. No, it's up there if they've got to be... Yeah.
Fantastic year. And now, one wish for next year. One sporting wish.
One sporting wish?
Jude Bellingham.
He's my prediction.
Is he?
He's on there, yeah. So I'm not going to use that as a wish as well. My wish would be... Do you know what? It sounds proper cringy. My wish would be Man City don't win the league.
Something like Arsenal, they've just lost Jesus, haven't they?
I know, but do you know what I mean? I don't want the Prem to turn into, you know, this Barca Real, this PSG every year, Bayern every year.
Yeah.
And that's essentially what it's doing. So my one wish, even if it's not Liverpool, would be that Man City don't win the league, because it's just fucking... Gotta be careful what I say, because Liverpool might end up like this, but oil money bought success.
Yeah, it's rough. My one wish, and it's something that I've always been... Never really bought into because I didn't think it would happen, but I genuinely think it has a chance this year. Boxing at Anfield. I genuinely think it has a chance, especially on the back that Callum's in a position and Beterbiev versus Yard. If Beterbiev knocks out Yard, it's a huge fight because he's a monster. We all know he's a monster, but he's a mainstream monster. And then if Yard beats Beterbiev, British, innit? He's got a chance of doing it. And I know Eddie Meads. Yeah. So that's me one wish. To see boxing or combat sports in Anfield be unreal.
I'll tell you what though, if they do, what do you think the chances are of Stephen and Paul dusting down the gloves and getting involved?
They'll spar against each other. But it would be great to have them all on there because they dreamed about doing it, didn't they? But yeah, they were just to see a walkout at Anfield. I know you've seen them at Tottenham and Wembley and all that, Goodison, but Anfield would be unreal. Especially the way it is now with like the stands and that. It's be unreal.
Yeah. Well, give me your 3.
You give me yours
bold
first.
predictions.
You give me yours first. I haven't even wrote mine down.
Okay, in order of
boldness.
Yeah, so in order of like kind of, I think they all will happen, by the way.
Yeah.
But least likely to most likely. Least likely, I think Jude Bellingham will be at Liverpool in August 2023. That's number 1.
Okay, so Jude Bellingham signed to Liverpool in the summer.
Yeah.
Is that bold?
I think that's my least likely one.
Okay, least likely, alright.
My second one is Frankie Dettori will win either the Ascot Gold Cup or the Derby.
We need to talk about that. Fucking farewell tour.
Okay. It is just renounced his retirement.
Yeah.
I think Dettori will win. I think he'll win obviously a lot more races next season, but I mean, I think he's won 2 derbies. I checked. To win his 3rd and final derby, I think he's nailed on.
Okay. More like with that.
And my last one is I think PSG will win the Champions League. I think that's the most likely thing to happen.
Yeah, it is.
Bellingham, Dettori going out on a high, and the Messi-Mbappe duo to bring the Champions League to PSG.
Okay.
I think they're strong, all of them.
Yeah, they are. They're good. You've got a chance of being 3-3 there next year, rather than 0-2 this year.
Thanks for putting that one in.
Right, so my first bold prediction is that...
Did you like where I went cross-sport as well, by the way?
Mine's heavy on the arm combat. Yusuke will be Fury. I was going to say Yusuke will knock Fury out.
It's not even happened. The fight's not been even...
But in 2023, he will beat...
Lad, to put any prediction involving Fury getting into a ring is fucking...
But I don't
prediction in itself.
I'm staying consistent. Yusuke will beat Tyson Fury.
Okay.
And he'll beat him well when it comes.
On points then, or
no,
not?
He will beat him well.
Okay.
John Jones will be UFC heavyweight champion.
Again, he's not even fighting again, is he?
No, he hasn't fought for years, but he will be UFC heavyweight champion. Another bold one.
He's so unlikely, they're untrue.
No, they're not. John Jones will be champion. He's
not even fighting, he's not active at the minute.
He will be, lad. He will.
That's like saying I'll break another gun world record. I've not ran in 6 months.
He was going to be December 10. There's already strong rumours that he's going to be March the 4th in Vegas.
So he's not fought for how many years?
Good while.
And he's going to get, fast-tracked?
Yeah, he's the greatest mixed martial artist to ever live.
He's also the most juiced-up mixed martial artist that ever lived.
And yeah, he might have got done to battery a couple of times. But he's Johnny Bones, lad.
Go on.
So he'll be UFC heavyweight champion. Yusuke will knock out... No, Yusuke will beat Fury. I'm not going to knock out, I'm going to stay down. But Yusuke will beat Fury. And then the third one, which is a little bit educated, but a little bit not as well. Eddie and the Zone split.
Oof.
In 2023.
Controversial.
That's my bold prediction.
I like it. You've got a bit businessy there, haven't you?
Yeah.
A bit political.
Proper toxic.
Do you think it's that bad for them, yeah?
Yeah, I really think it is. They haven't sold an arena in a calendar year.
Yeah, everyone's on their arse though, lad, to be fair, aren't they?
Why is the UFC selling out every time it comes to town?
Because America's, it only comes to town once a year though, innit?
The footy sells out every week.
Yeah, good point.
The dart sold out this week.
Yeah, listen, good point.
I just think it's that bad. And
I think you've got 1 out of 3 chance there.
There's holes. What do you think Fury beat Yusuke?
I just don't think it'll happen.
No, I know. But it will happen anyway.
And I think if John Bones goes back...
Johnny Bones?
If he goes back, he's not going to be fighting for the title this year.
He is. He's
going
to fight Stipe.
Okay.
And he'll beat Stipe.
I'm all for all 3 of them.
And then he'll go Johnny Bones versus Ngannou.
Imagine if we just do a pound accumulate on all 6 events.
We should do that. Someone will surely take that bet.
That's a pretty specific bet, lad.
Yeah, we got fans and backdoor bookie for that.
Yeah.
But
if anyone wants to give us odds on that, and we'll just have our own little stipulations.
He'll beat Stipe, and then he'll line up Ngannou, and he'll absolutely school him. And then he'll win the belt, and then he'll go off the rails again and get arrested in Vegas like 2 weeks later. But Johnny Bones, what he does, man. But yeah, they're my bold predictions.
Very good, lad. I might tweet Sky Bet and say, and I might at Eddie and DAZN in and go.
Please don't. Eddie, heard you are splitting up.
My good mate George, who's a bit of an expert on boxing MMA, reckons yours and DAZN's relationship's really toxic at the minute. Sky Bet.
You're on your ass, Eddie.
Yeah, you're on your ass. Sky Bet. What's the odds you're going to give us these to split?
What we should ask other people for theirs as well. If you've got any on Twitter, Instagram, or comments or whatever, get involved and let us know your bold predictions. I want to see some out there bold ones.
Yeah, I mean they're good. They're good.
Do you know what I was going to go close to? I was really, really close to doing it, and I want to include this. So I'm going to do 4. I think Mercedes will win the F1 Championship.
Yeah, bounce back. Yeah.
I think there's too much cloud around Verstappen and all this. Like obviously what he did with Perez, and then the
I can see that happening.
Yeah.
They're not going to listen. They're too good. They're not going to
fall away.
No,
not happening.
On we just mentioned him there, and I also want to link it back to I mentioned before Carragher, because he's just done a podcast with Stephen Bartlett.
Seen that, yeah.
He says some really interesting thing, and
how does he speak in it? Like, because that's a mad situation. Look, I know he does Sky and all that, but
he
would never put them two in a room.
It's really deep, yeah. I've only seen 20 minutes of it, but I texted him when he said it, because he says a line in it which used to get said in the Marines, and Cara was like, he gets asked what does he miss most about football, and he says, some people say, I miss the changing room, I miss the lads, I miss the banter. Cara says, nah, what the fuck about that? I said, I miss winning. He said, winning was everything. He said, I'd cheat if it meant us winning. And in the Marines, they used to have a saying, and they'd say, if you're not cheating, you're not trying hard enough.
I said that to my kids.
Do you know, it's like everything's about winning. I'm just texting and saying that, and he just said, fuck the taking part stuff, it is winning.
I think it is, like, you can't replicate a winning feeling. I mean, look, changes are great. I've had some of the greatest time in my life.
Well, that's what he says, though. He says the changes are great when you win.
Yeah, but if you lose to a bad place, you don't want to be in them. You'd rather be anywhere else.
And I just think going on that whole winning mentality and stuff, and I think, like, you know, you're talking about the Messis and Ronaldos, and I know they're great, and I think you said you don't like him, but forget about him and just look at his achievements. Frankie Dettori, you know, he's hanging up his whip. As of next year, it's going to be his last season.
Yeah, it's farewell tour, like Robbie Williams.
What do you think about him?
Elton
Maybe
John.
his little kind of celebrity cameo role. I actually quite like him. I mean, I've never met him, but he seems quite funny and stuff. Some achievements he's had in the world.
Yeah, unbelievable. Like, but there's no need for the tour.
Is it a tour?
Lad, it is a tour. Just retire. You've just been talking about Carrigan and then. Like, why are you giving us 12 months notice? Because he wants to get.
What you mean? The last time he's had every race course, he wants to book.
He wants to have the thing rolled out, and he wants ITV to do little things on him, and he's going to jump off and do that silly little thing that he does.
Had you been a bit arsed there?
I'm not, but like, why not? No, you know why not win the derby or whatever it is? Get off the horse and say that's me.
Because
he wants it, lad.
And what if he does?
Self-serving.
You know what? We can't all be Kev Sinfield. That's what makes us all different.
Yeah, it does, but we don't all have to be a self-indulgent little pube.
But we're not all self-indulgent, clearly, though.
That is self-indulgence, Andy. What? Is it not? Come on,
listen,
give it 12 months. Who goes into the office and goes, listen, I know being here a while, guys, but 12 months from now I'm leaving. Roll out the red carpet.
Right, I know what you're saying, and I accept what you're saying, but what I'm saying is, you look at Carragher and Kevin Sinfield.
Yeah.
They are probably
legends.
And I'm not just saying this because I can, you know, I know you. They are two of the biggest legends in sport, for not only what they've achieved, but also what they do off the pitch. They're both two of the most generous people I know. They've both got two of the best work ethics I've seen. Unbelievable guys who very much didn't tell anyone and just was like, I'm retired and done. And just kind of stepped back and no fuss was made. And that's amazing. And there's so much respect, so humble and all that. And yet there are people like Ronaldo or like Frankie Dettori who like being out there. And listen, I much prefer the Carragher Sinfield to look up to them, yes. However, I'm not just going to dismiss Dettori until he's a bellend. So what if he likes to fucking be the centre of attention and he likes to jump off horses? He's got that showmanship in him. Fuck, I like it. The sport needs that.
I understand that. But there's a difference between having a trademark jump off a horse and, you know, being charismatic as he thinks he is and all this stuff and announcing a proper Elton John, this is one last run tour.
Has he done that though?
Lad,
he hasn't said this is like,
he did. He announced it through his PR company. He tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah, but lad, horse racing, as you tell me all the time, the 1% of the top earners will make a career.
Yeah.
He's learned early on in his career, he is at the top and he does make a lot of money, but he's realised there's a career in TV for him. And he's on a league of their own and he's on the whole...
Lad, Frankie Dettori's never ever going to have to be short.
I know, but he's made...
It's all about him, lad. It's not about setting up.
But so what?
It's self-indulgence.
Yeah, so what? I'm there for it.
What about when...
Lad, the world is different.
I won't be. Ascot will be on next year and someone might get the first grade one.
Right? It'll all be about him, yeah.
And he knows that. And he wants that.
Yeah, but you know what? I like
I hope he goes 0 for 904 rides.
Yeah, that's it.
I hope his last one he's tailed off.
You can like two different types of people, you know, George.
No, absolutely. I do like different types of people. I just think...
You love the Kevin Sinfields of the world, and so do I.
I know, but I think it lacks class, lad.
Why?
Because you are making something all about you.
No, lad, he's had a fucking, 20-odd year career in horse racing.
And a little stint in Big Brother.
And he's letting his fans know, he's just going, look, guys...
You let your fans know the way Davy Russell did. He got off a winner and went and done.
No disrespect to Davy Russell. Like, do you know what I mean? Fandom-wise and star-wise.
Yeah. I get it, but, like, for someone to... If he'd have had a boss year this year, and he'd get loads of winning, a couple of grade ones, whatever, added to all his amazing achievements that he's achieved, which whether you like him or not, you can't take away from what he's achieved. You know, being brilliant. And he'd got off and he'd done a boss little interview and he just said, look, that's me now, I'm done. And then go and do your tour. Go round every race course and everyone clap you and all that stuff. Don't do it while you're going round, turning up going, oh yeah, me last time, fuck off.
He's not even done any of this yet and you're already slagging him.
Lad,
so that's great. Something to look forward to in the Sportscast 2023. every week there'll be a big meet on and all I'll hear off you is, see Frankie had the red carpet out again.
Yeah, you'll be an ascot like that. Go Frankie, go!
Listen, I know what you're saying, but
I'm not here for self-indulgence.
I quite like says the man who fucking sits here twice a week and talks about himself.
Don't want to talk about.
We talk about ourselves and we talk to each other.
But a
podcast in itself is quite self-indulgent, do you not think?
No, not at all. If we were sat here interviewing each other talking about how great we are, we actively say how much idiots we are.
Yeah, okay.
Quite actively.
Okay, maybe that was a bad point. But anyway, listen, I like Frankie and I'm
not taking nothing away from his career.
Fantastic. What do you let us know what you think about that? Because I think that's interesting.
I do, but the tour of the Elton John tour is just not for me.
Stop calling it Elton John tour.
That's what it is, lad. Elton John's done one last gig for 5 years. Every year he goes, last dance.
He's doing last, isn't he?
Yeah, well, he apparently, like, the Anfield one, but not Anfield gig, but that was his last tour.
Yeah.
And something else come up. He can barely stand up now.
But you know what pissed me off a little bit? We had a good debate on him, and it seems like more people agreed with you, which again is fine, but it pisses me off how many people are like you in the sense that they can't be changed, if you like. They can't have it's like you've got an opinion and you just stick to it. On the whole Simon Jordan thing, there seems to be more people who think he's a bellend than actually think he's alright.
I am honestly shocked by...
I read his book though.
Exactly, mate. Come on.
People just think he's a bellend for one odd comment he says. Everyone says the odd bellend thing now.
No, 100% we say the
even
more
the great Jordan Neal.
But he is... I don't want to get into it here, but people who I respect who like him, it does hurt me heart. Because he's a con man, lad. He's a blag artist.
Okay, right.
He is.
You're right what you said. Less said about it, the better.
Yeah, because we had this argument, but he is a blag artist. Okay. But, good luck to him and his blonde highlights. Can't wait till you get blonde highlights. You should go with Simon Jordan for like the next fancy dress you get.
Right, okay.
Just turn up with a little flip phone and no dough.
Go with them already, lad. No dough.
And just extend your over there after minus it as much as you can. Bring Jim White.
You can go with Jim White.
Yeah, I'll just stand in the corner party and be as boring and as monotone as possible.
We'll have to fucking try hard, lad.
We should talk about before we sign off. Did you see Molly's having a little bit of a break in the UFC?
Really?
I know we've jumped around sports here, but it's one of them shows, isn't it? Yeah, she done an article just saying she needs a break. She got that bar stool though. That bar stool though was made to think. But yeah. She was just saying, like, I think she said she done loads of media for New York or whatever, obviously got beat by Erin Blanchfield, who's now about to fight Talia Santos and then fight for the belt. Should have put her as being champ actually as my bold prediction. But yeah, she just said she can't deal with it no more. She come home crying, not really wanting to go out, eating at home, staying at home, walking the dogs, not dealing with the fame really well, you know what I mean? And it's good to touch on really what we were saying about Paddy, although friend of the show, you know him really well. Like it's hard to adjust to that change in your life, mate. Like there's different levels of fame, Indy, and like it's not easy to adjust. And Molly went from doing a podcast here with us, we walked down with her, no one really gave her a notice, to like being with Barstool and being the face of women's UFC for a little bit. It's tough. Be interesting to try and get it back on because I want to know. It's that old saying that we've mentioned it loads. It's hard to get up running when you go to sleep and stuff. Absolutely. If Barstool don't know how much they're paying in a month, whatever it is, but I don't know, and I don't care what anyone says. If you're getting paid serious dough, which I imagine it to be, do you really want to go and get your head fucking kicked in every week? Elbows on the floor, get your arm snapped behind your back. Nah, it's not about that life. It's a different world, lad, and I think she might have got home to Liverpool and had that realisation herself. Like I'm sure Molly's now got money where she can invest in other things and build another life for herself. And I just think it was interesting that she was saying she's taking a break because it does take a bit of honesty to do that because there'll be fighting opportunities there for in the March. She'd have been one of the first phone calls. You just got beat by Erin Blanchfield, you want your return in March, main card or top of the prelims or whatever. It'd be hard to turn down. But I wonder what that Barstool like. They might be like, listen, girl, we're sponsoring you to fucking fight. But mate, I don't know whether they're contracted to do. Paddy spends a lot of time over there. I don't know. I don't know whether Molly's might be structured a little different, but
I hope she's happy.
I just hope she's alright, yeah.
Yeah, you just want her to be happy, whether she finds success, which I think she's definitely got a great career lined up for her in the media.
100%.
And doing bits and bobs, but as long as she's happy, I think that's the main thing.
Yeah. I mean, it was just an interesting article, quite honest, really. But yeah, be good to see the state of that card in March, just with Molly not fighting, Paddy not fighting.
Till probably won't.
Yeah, Till probably won't. It'd be good because I know there's rumours Hamzat's going to be on there, which will obviously draw a lot of people. Leon, whether he fights Kamaru Usman or Jorge Masvidal, it'll still be a great card, but it'd be missing the. It'd be good to see if it still sells without the main UK stars. You know what I mean?
We got any boxing UFC this weekend?
No.
I've seen Billing. Is it Chris Billing?
Chris Smith was last weekend.
Yeah, it's a knockout. And he looked like he was getting caught up for a bit, didn't he?
Do you know what was annoying? We did
on the bet, I know.
We did 1 to 4.
I know.
And he would have got him out of it apart from that one right hand he took because he had to take a couple of rounds off because that was clean. Like.
Yeah.
But now, he'll fight. He wants to fight Riakko again, who's just been announced against Glowacki on Liam Smith's undercard in January, which is not selling, you know.
I know, I've seen it on Liam's Insta a few times saying 20% still left on that.
Wonder what, like, it's just January, do you reckon? It's a hard month, innit, for people, like...
Is that what you said before, the boxing's just, I don't know.
It's just not selling, mate. I think there's a big...
I think the UFC's got something to do with that, though, you know.
I do. MMA, 100% taking boxing fans every weekend, though. Every weekend.
But you know,
and some people I know people who cover boxing who will physically not even entertain the idea of MMA. It's like, no, really? Can't watch that. And then there's other people going, let me have a look at that. My God, he's doing these cards every weekend now.
I am, through doing this show, and I will put it down to you, I have 100% won far more now MMA than I have boxing.
I think a lot of people are the same.
To the point though, I'll be sitting in mine and fucking there and watching YouTube or whatever, having a cup of tea. I don't really watch TV, I just watch YouTube. I'll put on like past UFC fights.
Yeah.
Then I will past boxing fights.
100%, mate. I think, boxing is always like first home for me and I love it, but what it's doing to itself, there's a lot of positives in boxing, but there's what it's doing to itself. And when there's a very similar, I know it's the same, when there's a similar alternative, how are you going to get fans not to do that? Yeah. Because UFC, I know people get confused, UFC is just a promotion inside of MMA, but it's the prominent promotion. People who watch UFC or watch a UFC event, it's hard not to compare. It's hard not to go, like Chris Smith just had a card there on Boxer on a Saturday night. He was Rocky Fielding, obviously got beat by Dan Aziz, and that was sad to see, and that was a good fight, but there was 2 fights on that card. The UFC card, you could watch it from the start of the prelims, and every one of them you're like, boom, fight. Yeah. I mean, there's bad fights in there, there's bad fighters in there, but it's not even comparable. But yeah, on that point it was Rocky bowed out of boxing.
I see, that was sad, wasn't it? Yeah.
Just weighing himself, mate. I think obviously missed the weight, struggling to get the weight off.
Yeah.
Thankfully, Jamie Moore and Nigel Travis in his corner put the towel in because Rocky just went on the shield. And when you're fighting the likes of them, Dan Aziz, he's not achieved his dreams yet. He hasn't got the money yet. Do you know what I mean?
That's drive on it.
Rocky's made more money than he'll ever need.
I do. I think we're going to be getting guests on again in the pod, and I think
the silk pajama debate is one, man.
Yeah, and I think we'll get the likes of Belly one here and ask him. It was quite an hard, honest question to ask. I guess, isn't it? Like, at what point do you look at your bank balance and go, I'm all right, like,
I don't think it's so much the fight, because I think once you're in there, you revert to type. It's getting up and
training.
Yeah, and I've done it myself. Like when it's raining, you're like, no way, I'm not going out. You can't tell me there's not athletes who go, nope, I'm not going out there to run. No way. I'll do it on a treadmill. That's what they're saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's stuff like that.
Cutting those little corners, yeah.
And then the corners you didn't cut to get where you are, is why you fall off the pedestal. But good luck to Rocky in his whatever he does. I know he's invested his money quite well, so he'll be all right. But yeah, being a British boxing and being entertaining for British boxing, and he won everything. He said he put an stamp from Salford Sports Centre to Madison Square Garden. Can't really want to do much more than that, can you? But enjoyed this, lad.
Yeah, bit of an up and down everywhere show, but yeah, enjoyed it. Hope you all have a belter weekend. It's obviously Christmas. We will be out with a boxing show, a betting show on Boxing Day. Yeah. For those who are on Patreon, get involved in that if you can.
Boom.
And don't forget as well, if you want to give someone a Christmas present, and they know that your mate or your family member listens to the Lego podcast, you can buy a year's subscription for Patreon for I think 40 quid, 35, 40 quid. That's a belter Christmas present.
It is.
It'll help us out. Move the podcast on. So that's something to think about as you listen to this on a Friday morning. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. Hope you still enjoy the show, and we will see you all next week.
See ya.
Cheers.